Hi everyone. I haven't recorded videos for a while, but not because something went wrong. Actually, the development goes well. I'm just a little worried that even the first prototype is not ready yet, so I wanted to focus on it and not be distracted by something else. I don't have as much time as I would like to, so I have to prioritize what to spend my free time on. I'll cover my priorities and plans later in this video, but first I want to clarify one more point. When I launched the entire promo campaign, the Steam page, the YouTube devlog, the Patreon, when I recorded the promo video that is playing right now in the background, I didn't have any game at all. The video in the background is a demonstration of the concepts and ideas. Back then, it had only a few custom shaders for water and land, some checks for future optimization, a few logics for generating land, and a think-through idea of what exactly I would create. I was primarily focusing on making such a video because I know how important marketing is. If you watch the Code Monkey's video about marketing, you will find out the exact reason for my motivation to do it in the first place. However, as I said before, I work on it almost every night. Here is my Git repository where you can see the dates when my commits were made. Of course, this cannot represent all my work done, but only work directly in Unity. Some evenings were spent thinking through ideas for the game, working in the task tracker, on scripts for devlog, on its recording and editing. Some evenings, of course, I was too tired to work after my primary job. I had 2 tough releases in the last months. Oh, and a birthday weekend. But anyway, as you can see, the project is alive and goes straight forward. My last video was recorded somewhere at this point, and a lot of work has been done since then. Let's take a quick look on the current state. I am pretty experienced in development game architecture, and I know how important it is. My very first released project was a mess, and I really feel sorry for the publishers who have to work with spaghetti code to port it to consoles. When a game gets big enough, it becomes extremely difficult to maintain and expand with a poorly designed architecture. That's why I have to spend extra time to design it well. I won't go into the details of the code, but you can quickly see that I create and use all sorts of configs, utilities, custom editors and programming patterns. Moreover, I also decided to lay the architecture for future modding. Since my game is primarily a constructor, it would be ideal to give players the opportunity to add their own models to the game. At the moment, the tool allows you to create a monster in semi-automatic mode. I load the model, determine which elements of it can be changed, and arrange the cameras. Then, the tool automatically creates all the thumbnails for all the elements of the character, collects them into a config, packs all the pictures into an atlas, and makes the model addressable, ready for export. In the future, I will add level of details auto-generation, and of course support for other types of mods such as environment objects, animations or equipment for the main character. Another huge part of my work is UI. This game is what is called UI heavy, which means the player will spend most of the time interacting with the interfaces. They should contain a huge amount of information while remaining clear and convenient. And also, the player must continue to feel that he is playing the game, which means a large amount of animations and feedback from the game. I will still polish it, but right now I've already got main UI designed and animated. The left side will represent all the objects that we can spawn or edit. This is how the prototype of the object spawner looks like. You can scroll and you can filter each category to quickly find the necessary objects. Below, you can see a panel of options for interacting with the category or with an object. The codebase that allows me to easily supplement it has already been written, and the same panel will be used when the player selects an object in the world. The entire database of the game will be located on the right side. Level configurations, customizations of races, classes, monsters and skills are all here and will expand over time. Here we have several placeholder windows, each of which moves freely on the screen. And finally at the top, the time control panel, as well as the pause and analytics button. so far 2 with a placeholder window. In the first public prototype that I'm currently working on, I want to give players the opportunity to create their characters, customize their appearance, customize their characteristics, create skills for them, and see how they actually fight. So here we go, the initial fully working version of the monster catalog. I will not limit the number of possible monsters, and filters are implemented for the convenience of searching. Avatars of characters are created when they are updated and recorded in the save. Yeah, speaking about saves. Save system for classes, races, monsters, character types and skills are already implemented. We will also see here the most important information about how many such monsters are created in the world and used in the quests, how powerful they are, how much the loot or quests are of interest to players, as well as how successfully players cope with killing him. Let's edit one. Here we can see a preview of how this monster will look in the game, as well as enter the edit mode of its appearance. As you can see, I've implemented a wide variety of equipment and decorative items for humanoid characters. In future iterations, I will also add the ability to change the color or texture of objects. The Basics tab allows you to define the basic behavior, type and classification of the monster. Also allows you to select his weapon, which has not yet been implemented. Each option everywhere in the game has an additional pop-up with a description, and each line of the window is localized. I have already received several kindly offers of help with translations into other languages. However, at the moment the text can be easily changed, so working translations will begin much later. The Stats tab allows you to fine-tune its parameters, as well as their growth per level. The standard settings for the increasing characteristics per level can be configured once in the other menu, and, if necessary, redefined right here for each monster in particular. We can also turn the preview slider to see the calculation result for each level. The Drop tab is a place to determine which items and with what chance you can get out of monster when killing it. And the Skip tab allows you to configure skills. I spent a month and a half just developing the skill builder. It contains almost all the possibilities for the design of skills that came to my mind. However, I won't show it now. I will record a separate video another time where I will tell you about all its features and I will create some interesting skills with you. So stay tuned. And so far I'm already out of time. As you might guess, I'm a complete indie developer, which means I have no financial support and I had to develop in my spare time from my main job. So if you're really as excited to see this game live as soon as possible as me, so consider support on my Patreon. Subscribe this video, hit the like button, I don't know why yet, but everybody said it helps. See you in the next video.